Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be reviewing the Defense Point Showdown. I have a different setup because of the size of the set, but without further ado, let's get on right with the review. So starting off with the packaging, here is the box art for the box. It shows the gun, shows the Mongoose and all the figures included. On the right corner, it shows the 2-in-1 alternate build. Shows the piece number, 782 pieces, ages 10 and up, the name Defense Point Showdown in different languages. Back of the box just shows you yet again another shot of the figures and what's included. It shows the names of the figures, shows the 2-in-1 build yet again. On the bottom corner, it shows the other sets in the line, at least some of them. That would be the Warhog Rally and the Banished Breakout set. And on the top right corner, it shows the weapons and accessories included with the set. So starting things off, we have the main build of the set, which would be this Banished anti-air cannon. It's a new design as anti-air cannons go. Obviously, it being the Banished, it's going to be a much more different design than the Covenants. And it's sporting silver, gray, and red accents for colors. It has a few printed parts, such as this black tile right here, this silver with black tile right here, and the Banished emblem. It's also on the other side right here. And it has one of these tiles on the complete other side. Let me show you that real quick. Right there. This thing has full 360 degrees. There we go. It can look up pretty well. Very well. I don't know why you need to point out that high, but nonetheless, it can go up that high. And it can look down pretty well too. Or it can almost look down if you push it a little bit. It has transparent red bricks going all throughout the main gun. Up above. Red transparent bricks, which are very nice if you want to use it for a custom build. It has two launchers up here, up on the top, which if I can show you and the darts don't go everywhere. There you go. They shoot out. And there's two extra ones underneath the gun. I particularly do not use the blasters because last time I did, I lost a projectile from a different set. So I stay away from them. It has a little action feature with these little canisters of fuel, I would assume, or plasma or energy or something. And the box, it's displayed as, you know, you shoot these things, you destroy them, and I guess the gun goes down. But judging by its size in-game, if you look at the trailer, you can see this gun in-game. And it is much larger than this. A figure should be able to fit in this little hole right here. Like it's displayed in the trailer. Master Chief is able to walk in there via a gravity lift down here. But if I use this figure as an example right here, clearly it is very, very large. A hunter should be able to fit in here, so Mega had to scale it down. And if you're a custom builder, you could buy multiple of these sets and build a very large version of this anti-air cannon. But I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm fine with this. So yeah, it has 3 of these on each side. They don't really fly up unless you like, yeah, they just kind of bounce off. The feet have a little bit of movement, so if you want to set up on a different like base, if it's not flat base, you can just articulate the legs. Yeah, overall it's a nice build. Pretty long build too, by the way. And I would like to point out something about this. Let me get the camera up. These little pieces right here, they're only in by a pin. And if you're not careful with this thing, you might break them off. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm just letting you guys know just to be careful. So yeah, that's about it for the gun. Really nice build. Pretty long build and a very interesting build with some interesting new parts. But without further ado, let's get on with the next part of the review. So here we have a Mongoose, which is inspired by the Halo Infinite design. And as far as accuracy is, well, I don't have the actual game, and no one does as of the time of the recording of this video. But Jazzwares did release a Mongoose, which is supposed to be based off the Mongoose from Halo Infinite. So if you have it, you can use to compare this Mongoose to the Jazzwares Mongoose. But as far as a Mongoose goes, it's a very nice build. And it has an interesting feature, which is the fact that it can articulate side to side. It's really nice, you know, really looks like it's turning. It has little ball joints, a big old specialized sport that goes down here, and a little pole that goes right here. The new Hijack Ghost set has a specialized part too down the middle. I don't have this set yet, but I've seen reviews and it seems to have a specialized part. And it has a decent amount of specialized part too, such as this railing right here, some of the wheel guards, and the main body. This axle right here is also a brand new part. Overall, it's a really nice build, and if you get this set, then you don't have to buy the Recon Getaway set. And if you already have this set, you can just download the alternate instructions and convert this into the little ski bike, the little ski jet that is included in the set. So yeah, it's a really nice build. It's a little bit thin on the back, and yeah, it's a pretty nice build. And now I'll go ahead and show you guys how I think the figures fit on here. Alright, so this is how I believe the figures would fit onto the Mongoose, with the driver practically sitting down rather than leaning forward, and the Marine or the other occupier just kind of standing up almost, sitting down, facing forward, rather than the Halo 5 Mongoose, where instead of them facing forward, they're facing the other way like this. I personally like it like this. Now, speaking of design-wise, I prefer probably the Halo 3 Mongoose over this one, or maybe the Halo Reach one. Halo Reach one kind of looks like the Halo 5 Mongoose, but I prefer the Reach or the Halo 3 Mongoose. But yeah, it's a really nice build. So without further ado, let's get on with the figures now. Alright, so starting off with the first figure, here we have a Grunt Assault, which is sporting red for armor, a little bit of gray detailing, and skin tone for this muddy brown color. His hands are a little bit different than the rest of his, well, body. It's like a lighter brown. Might be just a plastic. He has a little brown display stand, very similar to this one right here. It just has a little display stand like this with him. Can't see obviously, but yeah, nothing too much about this figure. He has a little blue detailing, my bad, and he's sporting a purple plasma pistol. But yeah, you can't take off his helmet, by the way. That's just his head. You can take apart his armor. You can take off the gray circles off his methane tank. But yeah, overall, nothing much to say about this figure. So let's get on with the next figure. So starting off with our next figure here, we have the UNSC Marine, which is in the new Halo Infinite armor style. It has green for the underclothing, gray for the shirt, and brown for the armor, along with the communications backpack with the black antenna. The helmet is removable. It has leg straps and it has a grenade. And it has a little pouch on the side. You can take off the helmet, the waist piece, the chest, and the shoulder pads, along with the thigh attachments. She just has simply a gray assault rifle, the new Halo Infinite version, with the removable scope and a fragmentation grenade. Overall, this is a really nice figure. Not much to say about it, considering I have other Marines. I've already made up my mind. I'll probably detail it a little bit more. I have heard people say that the helmet doesn't fit on her, but mine fits on perfectly fine. Now, it can't really look up because of the ponytail, but it's fine the way it fits. I didn't struggle trying to put it on, so yeah, overall it's a really nice figure. They're still a little bit taller than Spartans. Apparently Mega fixed it, and if that's the case, then I'm glad they have. So let's go with the next figure. So our next figure coming up is the new Spartan Killer Hyperius, as he's being dubbed. He is sporting gray armor, red for the shoulder pad, at least one of them. He has a brown thigh piece, which I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. It probably is. There are two different parts, by the way. Two different thigh armors. One being the Brute Captain thigh armor, and the other one being the Banished Brute thigh armor. He's sporting Halo 3 feet for the Brutes. He just has a little bit of gray armor on it. He has silver detailing for the waist part, scratch marks on his chest with little red lights. His helmet has a beard, I assume, and orange hair, which is a very weird choice for a Brute, but what can I say? Then he has the infamous shoulder pad, which appears to be Locke's helmet. Looks a little bit funky, but I guess for such a small scale, then yeah, they could have scaled it up though. He's sporting a gray and brown red hammer. And it's nothing too crazy. I feel like that's not the right chest plate for him, but Mega just gave him that chest plate as a recycled part because they want to make a specialized part. But yeah, overall this figure's pretty nice. I feel like they could have given him a little stand to make him fly around. And by the way, he's using the old jump pack from the jump pack boots back then. They just messed with it a little bit so it'll fit on them. But yeah, let's go with the next figure now. Alright, now last but not least is the Master Chief again. Another iteration of him, which I'm actually not too fond of. We already have plenty of these guys. Well, we have already 7 of them. You know, I get it. You know, maybe it's a number 7 reference, but still, that's a lot of Master Chiefs. And, you know, some of them look almost identical. This one, luckily, it's a worthy addition. He has brown on his boots to represent a little bit of desert or dust that accumulated on him. He has brown all over the green. A little bit on his helmet on the back, a little bit on his back armor too, on his forearms and his shoulder pads, on his waist as well. He's just sporting a shock rifle, but to me this is not the most interesting of them all. Probably the least interesting of them all. As far as Master Chiefs go, it's a decent one. Again, sporting a shock rifle, and yeah, I do have a few complaints with this figure, and that's it's the fact that they molded the waist in green. Not the waist arm, but the waist in green. And the part that holds the legs together green. That's clearly gray in the figure and in the trailer, so I don't understand why Mega made it green. So yeah, but overall, that's probably the least exciting figure of the set. So yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap up the review and give up some thoughts. Alright, so for my final thoughts for the entire set, I think it's a really good set. It was quite the long build. I have not tried out the alternate build. Not that I care too much about it, but I might try and make a review on there, post it on my Instagram. But it's a really nice set. I do have a little bit of something to say, a little bit of, I guess, suggestions. I feel like it's missing something, you know. It's complete. It has everything that's split in the box. I feel like I could have something else. As far as figures go, you know, they look great. I like the figures a lot. Very nice figures. Master Chief over here is probably the least interesting one. Hyperius is pretty cool. The Marine and Grunt, they're fine too, by the way. You know, the Grunt's nice for army building, although they have the new Ghost coming out. The Marine's another fine addition to your Marine army. Mongoose is nice. The anti-air cannon is very nice. And I would like to compare the Covenant anti-air cannon with this. So yeah, I'll go ahead and compare it right now. Alright, so this is the Covenant anti-air cannon right next to the Banished anti-air cannon. The Banished one looks pretty formidable, but I think the Covenant anti-air cannon looks much more recognizable. I don't know, I feel like it gives off this sense of true Covenant power. And the Covenant one has less parts because the base is mostly a few prefabricated parts, and then the main of the build is in the actual gun up here. This is where most of the build is. You got a few little parts here and there over here, whereas this is almost completely brick built with a few specialized parts, of course, but the whole base for this thing is pure specialized parts. Now, this Banished anti-air cannon is almost like a representation of this set. This one came with a cannon, 4 figures, and a vehicle. This one came also with another cannon, a vehicle, and 4 figures. This set, however, had a few accessories such as like Covenant crates. And now I know what I feel like is missing with this set. I feel like this set could have used something like crates. If this set had barricades, for example, this right here, like this type of, actually not this kind of barricade. This barricade is weak compared to this one. Like if it had this kind of barricade, but instead of it being purple, it's this kind of red. I personally do not like this barricade at all. It is very, very weak compared to this one. But if it had like a barricade, you know, if it had like 2 barricades for an example, or instead of 2 barricades, maybe it had a really small turret. You know, we'll just use this as an example. Maybe it had like a really small turret, or it came with a fusion coil and some crates and maybe a barricade for an example, and a little turret. I don't know, it kind of adds to this environmental feel. They already did release one of these crates in Banished colors with silver and red, so, you know, I feel like if you give it something like that, it kind of adds to an environment, and I think it looks really nice. I think that's why the Covenant anti-air cannon over here stood out a lot, because of the little accessories. So I feel like it's kind of missing that, you know, it adds a lot to it, whereas you remove them, yeah, it looks nice, but I think when you add the barricades, when you add the fusion coils, it looks a lot nicer. I'm glad to have gotten more official figures. We now have the pilot, Master Chief, Hyperius. Who knows who's next? And speaking of Master Chief, you know, we've already gotten 7 Master Chiefs at this point. As far as Master Chiefs go, we've already gotten 7. I only have 3. The active camo one is a very nice variant. It is very much more different than every other chief. The one in the middle is the Defense Point Showdown one. It has a little bit of desert camo. That's fine. And then the one over here on the right is the one from the Master Chief versus Brute Warrior set. Now, I custom painted mine, so that's probably why it looks different. The camera will zoom in. Yeah, I custom painted a lot. I spent a lot of work on this one right here, just to try to make it look more realistic. But I personally still like mine a lot more. And it looks a little bit shorter because he doesn't have a stand on him. So, yeah, we've already got 7 Master Chiefs. 3 from here. Then we have the Warthog Rally. That's 4. We have the San Diego Comic-Con. That's 5. We have the Pelican Inbound. That's 6. And now we have Series 13. That's 7 Master Chiefs. I don't know how I feel about having so many of them. Yeah, there's different variations, but, you know, it's not that... they're not that much more different. Most of them are. So overall, I thought this was a really fine set. You know, if you don't have any of the gripes that I do with this set, then by all means get this set. It's a very nice set. Even pick up 2 if you want to have 2 anti-air cannons or even 3. I don't know what you're gonna do with 3 Master Chiefs and 3 Hyperiuses, but that's on you, not me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until I see you guys again, take care everybody, and peace out.